going on, everybody? It's PK and welcome to my channel. Before I get into the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It is so hot right now, so I'm so sorry if you see me like sweating. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my college journey, what schools I applied to, why I applied to them, and what school I ultimately chose to go to. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first of all, I'm going to say that I applied to all of my schools as a business major. I didn't know that I wanted to major in this at all until my senior year, until I took a course called AP Research, and I won't really go into detail about what my project really was in that class, but it did lead me to knowing that I wanted to pursue a degree in marketing and business in that whole realm. Second of all, I'm gonna tell you that really I didn't know what I was looking for in a school. As I said, I just knew my major a couple months before applying to schools, and growing up I always changed what I wanted to do. Honestly, all the criteria for my schools were that they had a lot of students, they're a really big campus, and that they had school spirit, and I wanted to go to a Division I school. So that really doesn't narrow anything down, and ultimately those factors aren't really things that should make up what you solely pick a college on, but that's what I did. And it was a little bit difficult for me, the application process, choosing a school, things like that, because my parents really didn't have to go through that. My dad got a scholarship to play basketball, and back then it was a little bit different than now. He didn't really have to apply to a school, they kind of chose him and he went, you know what I mean? Whereas now sometimes you really have to apply and things like that, depending on what sport, what school, what talent level, all of those kinds of things. My mom went to school in Japan, so their application process is completely different. So I was kind of they helped me a lot, don't get me wrong, but with regards of choosing a school and things like that, I really had to look into myself. So I'm gonna start off by saying that I applied to 11 schools, and I know that may seem like a lot to some people. I mean, some people apply to way more, some people apply to way less. It really just depends on the kind of person you are, the kind of school you're looking for, and the place you are in your life when you're applying to these schools. Keep in mind, I didn't apply to I wasn't really trying to go to all 11 of these schools. If you do pretty well in high school, you'll get a few emails with fee waivers and essay waivers. So basically you just put in your personal information and then you apply to that school. And so I did a lot of that just so I could have a lot of safety schools, and this was mainly because I wasn't really sure how everything was going to work out with financial aid and all of that kind of stuff. I just wanted to have all of my bases covered. I was lucky enough to get into all 11 schools that I did apply to. I am very, very lucky, very fortunate, and very appreciative of everything. Okay, so for right now, I'm only going to talk about the schools that I really was trying to go to out of the schools that I applied to. So in no particular order, I'm going to talk about Virginia Commonwealth University, Temple University, University of California, Los Angeles, Virginia Tech, George Mason University, University of South Florida, and University of Maryland College Park. Okay, so the way I'm going to structure this video, I'm going to talk about each school, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and then at the end I'll kind of sum it all up. So a little bit of backstory. Most students visit schools their sophomore and junior year. If you're a sophomore or junior and you don't think that you're visiting schools anytime soon and it feels like all of your friends are, don't even worry about it. I definitely think visiting schools is very, very important in trying to find what you want in a school, but don't freak out if you're a little bit behind than all of your friends about in regards of visiting schools. The first college I really visited to think about going there was the day before I started my senior year. The first school that I did visit is Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I really liked Temple, I really liked Philadelphia. In the summertime, I really had it in my mind that I wanted to go to a school in a big city, so I was thinking about internships and multiculturalism and things like that. So Temple seemed like a really good idea, and then I got into it and I realized how expensive it is. So definitely, if cost is a concern for your family, look at that before you apply. I don't know why I didn't. I think I assumed that scholarships weren't that hard to get. which is so dumb because they're really, really hard to get because everyone is trying to get them. Obviously, no one wants to pay full price for something they can get a deduction on. You know what I mean? Second thing, I realized I hate the cold. Like, I don't know why I was thinking about going to school up north. I hate the cold. I live in Virginia and I hate winter here already. So can you imagine me up north? That would just be crazy. So honestly, like, I wasn't too disappointed about not going to Temple. And it's a great school, great atmosphere. I loved my time up there, but it just wasn't for me. After I visited Temple, I visited University of Delaware, which I did not end up applying to because it was just a little too small for my taste. But I loved the campus. It was so pretty, the green, the classic buildings, I just loved it. And so that's kind of what made me realize that I didn't want just like my school to be on the street. You know what I mean? On the street, on the sidewalk, you know what I mean? So the next school I'm gonna talk about is VCU. VCU is in Richmond, Virginia. It's really cool. Temple is kind of a cement campus. VCU is kind of a cement campus. So that kind of like, I applied to VCU, I got in, it was really exciting. They have a really good global business program that I was looking at. So as I said, I didn't really want a cement campus, but I wanted to be near a big city. So that led me to look into colleges like George Mason University and University of Maryland College Park because they were like 15 minutes from DC. It seemed like great. They both have like a campus in like a smaller city. I visited College Park maybe around February or January, I don't really remember, of my senior year. I loved College Park. I'm gonna honestly say that for majority of my senior year, College Park was my number one. The campus was just so pretty. It was pretty like prestigious, like their reputation was pretty prestigious. Not that reputation is something that you should solely choose a school off of. That really doesn't matter, it's what you make of it, but it's definitely a good plus, you know what I mean? So I got into there, I was really excited, I went to visit, it was so nice. They gave me like my scholarship package and they gave me like nothing. And I know that the people who go there are so smart, I understand. And I'm out of state and I know they put a big emphasis on in-state students. But it was kind of hurtful. I was a little hurt, but honestly, I took that day, I cried a little bit, and then I kind of got over it, and I realized in my head, I think I kind of subconsciously made this decision that if they weren't going to show me in a way that they wanted me, then I didn't really want them. And I know that sounds so bougie and, you know, like so annoying of me to say, but that's kind of how I was feeling at the time. That's just how I was feeling. I don't know if I put that into words correctly, but yeah, so that was kind of off the table in my mind. George Mason. So, before I start talking about George Mason, I'm going to talk about Virginia Tech because they kind of intertwine a little bit. So, Virginia Tech. It's in Blacksburg, Virginia. It's like not in a big city. It's near Roanoke, but you know, I wasn't really looking at that kind of city as a place I wanted to be in. But I applied there just to have another Virginia school on my list. Around in April, they sent me like a little program thing, a gateway program thing. So I was able to go visit the school, stay overnight. What was going through my head, I just said, let's go. I'm not doing anything that weekend anyway. Maybe I'll meet some new cool people, you know, like why not just go? I had no intention at all of going there to see like, oh, do I want this to be my college? But I got there and it was so pretty and there was just like a little aura to the campus that I can't even explain. It was just so nice and everyone there was so nice. And I went there during the weekend of Hokey Focus, so I do understand that maybe the students on campus were like maybe overly nice because they knew that new students would be coming on campus that day, but it just seemed like such a great environment. Another reason why I really wasn't looking at Virginia Tech as a place to go is because of the schools that I applied to, it was the least like racially diverse by statistics. And that was something I was looking at when I was applying. But Gateway, the program I went with, they like place a really big emphasis on their like multiculturalism of Virginia Tech, because they know that on paper it doesn't look that way. So I was able to spend a lot of time in the cultural center and speak to some people of color. I am half black and half Japanese, so I've dealt with a little bit of like racially motivated, how would you say? A little racially motivated, I wouldn't say discrimination, but just the way certain people act towards you, certain groups act towards you as like a mixed person in America today. Because the concentration of people of color, of minorities at Virginia Tech is so small, it seemed like they were really a community inside the larger, friendly, welcoming Virginia Tech community. And I really appreciated that. I really love the emphasis that they put on that, and that they felt the need to not like just hide it, not just say, oh, like we love everyone. They really said like, we understand that this is a PWI, a major PWI, but we really want to make all kinds of people feel safe here. And so that was just amazing. I loved it. I went there in April. This was like 3 weeks before I had to make a decision. And at that time, really, my top schools were George Mason, UCLA, and South Florida. But after that weekend, I knew that my top schools were UCLA, Virginia Tech, and like maybe South Florida. So that's really cool. Virginia Tech was at the bottom of my list and it just shot up. Okay, so going back to George Mason. When I went to Virginia Tech, I met a lot of people from Northern Virginia. So I'd already visited George Mason before there, and I liked the campus, I liked it all. It didn't really say anything special to me, but I did really like it, so it was really high on my list. I talked to a lot of people from Northern Virginia who live near George Mason and know like a lot more about the campus. And they kind of told me that it's really a commuter campus. Not necessarily everyone there like commutes and no one lives in the dorms and no one has fun. It's a great school, I'm sure it's so much fun. But they kind of said it gave them the vibe that people were kind of there just to get their degree and go. And definitely getting your degree is the main part of college, obviously. But for me, I wanted my college experience to be a little bit more than that. The weekend after that, I ended up going to UCLA and I was so excited. So a little backstory into why I even applied to UCLA, because I know that sounds so far-fetched when you're looking at the rest of my list. My dad like really wanted me to apply to a school like that was far away, that was really high ranked and everything. And he spent a little time in California when he was about my age, and he just loves the West Coast. So throughout my senior year, I applied to UCLA and I really didn't put much thought into it. It really wasn't on my radar. I didn't really think I was on that level to where I could even consider it. But I got in, I was so happy, and I'm so happy I got to visit. It was my first time in California. If you want to check out that vlog, please do. If I can figure out how to link it up here, I will. If I can't, the link will definitely be in the description. It was so fun. That vlog contains how I felt about UCLA a little bit, little clips of UCLA, their Bruin Day, and clips of Los Angeles as a whole. So UCLA was great. The campus was beautiful. LA was so much fun. I loved it. But I realized I kind of liked LA more than I liked UCLA as a school. And that could be because I was a little biased going into it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about UCLA, and the people that I watched go to UCLA, and they kind of had some emotions about UCLA that I really felt were not what I was looking for, not what I was looking forward to feeling during my college years. So this is by no means a complete summary of the huge school that is UCLA. It's just something that stuck out in my head that I heard. So one girl said that she goes to UCLA and that study groups, for example, are not as common there as they are in other schools because so many people are so competitive and trying to get to the top. And I understand that competitiveness is how the world works. Everyone is trying to get to the top. And I'm not trying to live in a bubble or anything. I just really wanted my college experience to be how I felt in high school, really supported in a really positive community. And UCLA just really didn't give me that vibe. I know there's so many passionate people there, and they are all like so creative and really gonna do great things for the world. Kind of the little avenue I guess I want to get into with YouTube and all of my social medias and things like that. It might have been really helpful if I did go to UCLA and I was spending a lot of time in LA, but like for me it just didn't seem like my type of school. When I went there, everyone was kind of walking around with headphones in and like not talking to anyone, which like I know doesn't sum up the entire student body, but it kind of just gave me that impression, and it just didn't really speak to me in the way that Virginia Tech did. And it could be because I went to Virginia Tech that weekend before and I had a lot of fun there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, UCLA is really expensive. I was lucky enough to have such supportive parents that would let me go to whatever school I wanted to ultimately, but the biggest repayment to my parents for 18 years of taking care of me was for me to not worry them with college costs and everything like that. I'm gonna make an entire video on financial aid, scholarships from schools, outside scholarships, all that kind of stuff coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that. So I won't go into too much detail in this video, but that was a little factor of why I didn't choose UCLA as well. South Florida, I never got the chance to visit. I really would have liked to. It's in Tampa, and it seemed like a great school. I got into like a special program there, and they have a lot of opportunities for business majors there. But ultimately, like, I just didn't get to visit. It just really, Florida, like, I've never gone there. I honestly don't even know why I chose to apply to South Florida. I think I was just researching one night and I saw it. I did a little research on YouTube. I watched some people there, blah blah, and I think I just filled out the application that night. Like, I think I didn't really put much thought into it, and I got in and I was so excited. So yeah, that's just kind of it. It just kind of like was the timing of it, and I really didn't feel like I would feel better about a school than I did about Virginia Tech at that time. So just to give you a little timeline, I visited Virginia Tech like 3 weeks before May 1st, which is decision day, when high school seniors have to decide where they're gonna go to school. I visited UCLA 2 weeks before. I thought about it really for a week, and then I knew I wanted to go to Virginia Tech. And I'm so excited to be a Hokie. I'm so excited to go to Virginia Tech. It's literally my #1 school. Like, I wouldn't want to go to any school over the school that I'm going to, and I'm so happy and blessed to be able to do that, because a lot of people don't. And I'm just gonna plug my school a little bit. I'm so excited to be a Hokie. I graduated high school last Friday, so it's really like I'm on the road to go there. I'm almost gonna go there. I found a roommate, and I'll make more videos talking about the roommate process in college and all of that once I get there and once everything starts happening. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I answered any questions you may have, or if you are in college already, if I like kind of solidified some of the feeling that you may have been having when you were in my position. If you have any more questions about the college process, please comment them down below. I will be responding to anyone who comments. If you're in high school right now, or middle school, or elementary school, comment down what college you want to go to right now, or what qualities you're looking for in a college. If you're in college right now, comment what school you go to. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. I would love to get just a little bit more perspective on a lot of the colleges that are here. Not even here, not even America, on the earth, on the moon. So comment down below, interact with me. Stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe, turn on my post notifications. I'm gonna have more videos coming. All of my videos are not gonna be on college and school and all that stuff. I plan to do a lot of other things too. My hands are moving around so weird. But thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. I am sweating. I'm thirsty.